Welcome in, everyone, to the News 10 Plus desk on this Thursday. I'm Taylor Gattoni with Claudia Sella from Studio 10.
Hey, it's Thursday. We made it to Friday Junior.
That is right, and you are noticing the red graphics because today is a first alert weather day, which are meteorologist Colton Cichoracki and Andy Provenzano. Even Darren Rockel's here. He came in just to provide an extra set of hands. So to give you updates into the risk of severe storms that we may get today later on this evening. But Claudia is going to share what we have coming up on Studio 10.
Yeah, so before the storms, we're going to beat the heat before the storms. Fingers crossed. We are going to the Grand Ledge splash pad to kind of showcase how cool it is. So the reason we're going is because we wanted to splash into summer, you know, But it is a really great free resource for people who live in Grand Ledge. And throughout the summer, I'm going to be kind of bebopping around, hopping to different splash pads to show you how cool they are. And this one in particular is one of my favorites because it's so cute. And you get to press the button. So like you get to decide when the water turns back on.
You can be a little water bender out there.
I know, I'm excited. So if it's not too windy, we'll probably get in the water. We'll see how it goes. It's really all dependent. We have microphones, you know, all that stuff. Yeah. But we're still going to try to make it really fun. So we're going to go with the Grand Ledge Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to talk all fun stuff and kind of about their like upcoming summer fun because it doesn't stop with the splash pad.
No, that's their like year round.
That's their year round, and
can only use it during the warmer months. But you know,
maybe flipping cold if you were to do it in like I think it turns off. So
they don't want to freeze the pipes.
Not be fun. And then of course we've got the Holt Senior Care Rehab Center is doing a really fun celebration. So we're going to talk about that, and then we've got it's a classic car show celebration too. Ooh. So it's if you like classic cars, I know like for dads, Father's Day is coming up.
That'd be a great event.
My dad loves classic cars. He just likes to look at them.
He doesn't like, oh, look at that one. Look at the design on it. All this stuff.
Yep.
I'm like, I
just likes to look.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and like touch, you know. You gotta touch. All right, and then we've got bacon cakes. They're doing their dads and grads, so we're going to talk about all the fun things that you can get for your dad this Father's Day and grads, because it is now we've kind of reached past graduation season, but now we're in grad party season.
And it gets really busy with all the grad parties. Sometimes you have like 6 in one day.
Yeah, the most I had was 6. The most I had was 6 in one day, and it was actually kind of stressful. But, you know, if I knew I was going to a grad party with bacon cakes, I would save room for food.
Good.
With that one. So we're going to talk about how you can get in on that. And then we've got our Father's Day giveaway, which is really cool. And there's still time to get involved. It is an awesome pizza oven.
Oh, yeah.
These pizza ovens, I have a family friend who has one. They are amazing. They are so, so cool. We actually bring it up to the ski hill, and we'll make pizzas out there with it. It's so cool. So definitely recommend getting into that giveaway because it is worth it. I promise you it's worth it. And the cool thing is like you can make pizzas in it, but you can actually make other food in it too.
Ooh,
which is really cool.
What can you make?
We did like little pita pocket things, like sandwiches. It was really good.
That would be really good.
Because we had pizza like 2 days in a row. So we were like, you know what, let's try it. And it worked. So such a great giveaway. Don't forget to get your dad involved in this because I guarantee that he would love a pizza oven. And then we've got 517 Friday moved to 517 Thursday because we do not have a show tomorrow because of tennis. Yeah, are you good at tennis? I'm really bad.
It's golf.
It's golf. No, you're right, not tennis. Golf.
We had it was last week.
Yes.
That the French Open was happening.
Yes, that's why I'm getting confused.
All the sports are happening now. Just wait till the Olympics get here.
And right now, as we speak, the Michigan PGA Open is happening like at this moment as we speak too. So there's a lot of sports opens, I guess.
With tennis, but golf, I'm even worse at golf for me.
I like to play it, but I do not like to watch. I'm so sorry if you're good at golf out there. I do not like to watch golf. But
it's different.
We have the 517 Thursday, and they're going to give a breakdown of the entire weekend because it's going to be really fun. We've got a bunch of Juneteenth events happening, and so there's just all over fun. And so it's going to be an all over fun show. We're going to try to beat the storm out at the splash pad, see what happens. But if it does start storming, you know what to watch, you know where to go, you know to go inside and watch Studio 10. Otherwise, we'll see you at 3 p.m.
Sounds good. Thank you, Claudia.
Of course.
Like Claudia was mentioning, get hungry for bacon cakes today. But also, she was talking about those the graduation ceremonies ending, but those grad parties starting. And something that I know Studio 10 was sharing earlier in the week, or maybe even last week, can't remember, but Nicole did Cole's Crafts and had the cute little decoration of the little graduation hat made out of bowls and the artificial flowers from Dollar Tree. So really cheap, but creative idea that is super fun to make. You can make it with your kids, you know, your teens. If you just want to do a solo craft yourself, make sure to go check it out. And then you can find more information on their YouTube pages, of course, or anywhere else. WILX Studio 10 is where you can go. And something else that they mentioned, if you have a lot of grad parties, maybe, or if you're hosting a grad party, maybe what you can do is like little appetizers. So that way, you know, you're not providing all these giant meals and entrees for people when they have a bunch of different grad parties to go to. You don't want to waste all that food. Plus, it probably saves you money to have smaller portions on your plates. So there you go. WILX Studio 10. Make sure you're tuning in. Coming up at 3 o'clock today. But something else very big happening today is a First Alert Weather Day. So Colton is here to share what we can expect potentially with the severe risk of storms.
Yeah, you know, we are still tracking the potential of seeing some of this. Now, the time frame still continues to be from about 4 to 9 p.m. As there are some showers and storms off to our north, so we'll still keep an eye on this, but it does look like we could see some stronger thunderstorms this afternoon across the area. I want to show you the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center. Not much change to this at all. We're still under a slight risk for severe weather. That's a level 2 out of 5. So we're going to continue to watch the potential of seeing some of these strong thunderstorms today. Like I mentioned, the most likely time frame is from about 4 to 9 p.m. Damaging winds, large hail, and can't rule out an isolated tornado, but I think for the most part, this is mainly a damaging wind threat for us with these showers and storms that are going to come through later on today. At least the possibility of seeing them come through later on today. But right now what we're seeing, there's actually several severe thunderstorm warnings up in the UP at this time. This is all associated with a cold front that's going to come in as we head throughout the day today. So roughly back here is where that cold front is right now. It is quickly but going to be making its way here, so we're likely going to see some showers and thunderstorms develop within the next few hours here. There has been some question as to how many storms we see and where they fire up. Do they do it a little bit further south? Do they do it a little bit further north? Do they happen at all? So those are the questions that are still out there. But one thing that we are seeing is just a few clouds that are out there currently that really hasn't prevented temperatures from getting all that, or hasn't prevented them from staying cool, I should say.
Okay.
We're still in the mid-80s, 85 in Lansing, 85 also in Jackson, but look at Adrian where there has been a little bit more sunshine, pushing 90 degrees.
Oh boy, and it feels hot and humid out there.
Yeah, so this is one thing that we'll have to keep an eye on is, do the storms fire up a little bit further to the south? That is something we'll have to keep an eye on throughout the day, where the temperatures are just slightly warmer. But I do think all of us have a risk for severe weather, and that is why we have the First Alert Weather Day. I see Mitchell's question about the ETA for Lansing. We'll get to that in just one second. I do have a graphic to show you for that. One thing, too, that I want to show you is the dew point. It's very humid outside. Ignore that reading at Hillsdale. It's not correct. But we have dew points that are in the 60s, so it feels humid. But when you have this high humidity, you have this high heat, you kind of get the feeling that you're going to get some showers and storms, and that's exactly what is likely going to happen. So here's a look at the next 12 hours. It's a breezy day as well. We'll keep temperatures in the 80s, and then we'll see some showers and thunderstorms. I would say in the Lansing area, probably around 5 o'clock, 5 to 6 p.m. is a good time frame for that. And that's what I want to show you here with some of our latest model data on this Thursday afternoon with these showers and storms that very quickly pop up.
Yeah, that popped up instantly. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, blinked and it was there.
But again, it's not a for sure thing, right? So
Right.
This is one of those situations where we kind of have some limiting factors to the thunderstorm chances overall that may prevent a lot of growth with the thunderstorms. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So this is one of those days that you want to just make sure that you're paying attention to the weather. If we start to see these storms develop, we will of course let you know. And then once they do move in, obviously, we'll continue to keep you updated with that. News 10 First Alert Weather app is a great tool to have today because we have this potential of seeing these strong to severe thunderstorms throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. That we can see here on the hour-by-hour forecast. So this is 6 o'clock this evening, and we have these showers and storms moving on through. Andy just came in and said that there likely will be a watch. Hang on, let me...
Yeah, Andy's heading back down to the studio right now. So currently in our station right now here at News 10, we have Andy Provenzano, Darren Rockhold came in earlier today. He was on News 10 today this morning. He came back during the lunch hour to monitor these severe storms that could potentially happen this evening, like Colton was saying, around 4 o'clock when First at 4 begins. I know Mitchell Young was asking the ETA for Lansing, and you're seeing that on your screen, Mitchell. To let everyone know, we do have almost all of our meteorologists here. Everyone besides Justin Bradford, who is on paternity leave for his child, but we have Colton Cichoracki here, Andy Provenzano covering your 90 minutes and evening news, and then Darren Rockhold on standby to provide that extra set of helping hands to monitor all of these storms.
Yeah, and one of the updates that Andy just came in and told me about is that the Storm Prediction Center, they put out these things called mesoscale discussions. Basically what they are is just a, hey, we're highlighting this area that we may issue a watch, or we're watching it for some reason. They did just put one out for all of us, a 60% chance at seeing a severe thunderstorm watch issued within the next few hours. That's a pretty good chance that we'll see something issued. If that does happen, we will of course let you know. But basically this is letting us know that they are seeing things that tends to lead towards that we're going to see these thunderstorms develop. So we'll let you know when that watch gets issued. This was put out by the Storm Prediction Center just after 2 o'clock. So we'll keep an eye on this, but it does look like there could be a watch issued. Again, a 60% probability of seeing that. And it does look like the main concerns with the thunderstorms will be, like we kind of said, large hail, damaging wind gust.
Yeah.
Those would be the main concerns here. Anytime that you start getting into more of a line segment with the thunderstorms, that does tend to believe that that's more of a damaging wind threat. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. But we'll kind of show you this, that they're very quick to move out. So this is a quick moving line of thunderstorms that will only last a couple of hours through the entire part of mid-Michigan, and then they'll be out of here as we head into the evening hours and into tonight. And then by tomorrow morning, we're completely dry. This is with a cold front. That cold front will bring in some drier air for tomorrow, and we'll actually see some cooler weather for both Friday and Saturday, but then attention will turn to what happens after that.
Right.
So right now, looking at your severe risk for today between about 4 to 9 p.m. Like I mentioned, been saying this, high winds is the big concern with these, as well as heavy rainfall. And given the fact how warm and muggy it is, lightning will also be a concern. So I think there will be a lot of lightning. So these will probably be some noisy thunderstorms.
So stay indoors this evening, especially if there is lightning. You do not want to be outside during that.
Right. Yeah, so make sure you're staying inside. So if we do see any severe thunderstorm warnings or watches issued within the next few hours, download the News 10 First Alert Weather app. You'll get a push notification sent directly to your phone when that happens. We'll also send out a push notification. And if you tune into WILX on TV, you'll be able to see our little crawl, is what we call them, at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
That will have the information if there is a watch issued, which it looks like there will be within the next couple of hours. So we're still clear for right now. We're probably clear for another hour or two, maybe a little bit more than that. It's thereafter that I would expect some of these showers and storms. So I think that drive home from work for many people may be impacted by some of these storms later on today. Now, as we head into the holiday week, and of course Father's Day is on Sunday, what we will see, as I mentioned, that we'll see some cooler air for Friday, Saturday. By cooler, we're going to be about 80, so that's the cooler. After that, though, we're going to see a big ridge of high pressure develop across the Great Lakes region. And what this will do, when we have one of those, it allows very warm air to move in from the south, warm and muggy air move in from the south, and that's why we're going to see some of the warmest temperatures of the entire year by a lot come in next week. So we've been talking about this already because it's remarkable about how our models have been in agreement with this. I mean, we saw this showing up in the models more than a week ago, a week and a half ago, and here we are now forecasting highs to get up into the middle 80s, or middle 90s, I should say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Crank that AC.
Yeah, so it's going to be a prolonged heat wave, low temperatures at night, only in the lower 70s. You're going to be dealing with some higher humidity as well. So it is going to be just one of those classic summer heat waves that is going to come in here and bring some of the hottest temperatures. And now we're talking about humidity levels that will probably be putting our dew points in the upper 60s to lower 70s during this time. That's very humid. So that in addition to that, so you have the heat, you have the humidity. That means our feels like temperature, the heat index is what that's called. Those will be at or above 100 degrees
That's, yeah.
each of those days. So the National Weather Service has already talked about heat advisories possibly being the end of next week. We're already talking about first alert weather days possibly going in effect for next week. We're going to kind of get through today, and then we'll have that discussion tomorrow. But it does look like this is going to be some dangerous heat, and it's just the first time that we've seen this, and my biggest concern is how long it's going to be for several days. It's not like we're just getting up to the 90s one day and then we call it good. So it's a few days of this, so making sure that you're kind of getting ready for that.
You are getting the warning now to prepare for all of that. I know I actually ran into one of my neighbors yesterday who said that their AC unit just gave out. So they don't have the AC running right now. They're working to, call maintenance, get it up and running again, because with those temperatures happening next week, you really want to make sure that, you have water on standby. Maybe you have some extra batteries, a little fan, a portable fan to keep you cool if you need. Any ice packs, but obviously you would need to keep those cool. And if you have no power, if you have if you don't have your AC going, then that's really going to be hot. So just make sure you're taking certain precautions and preparing for these high temperatures. I know that usually Cole and I were talking about cooling centers typically open up when these temperatures get hot like that.
Yeah, so this is stuff that you want to make sure that you're taking care of your pets. You want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. If your AC is not working, use the next couple of days to hopefully get that fixed, because you'll need it next week. So definitely some of the hottest temperatures that we're going to see for several days next week. So we'll keep you updated. Obviously, we have to get through today's severe chances, and then we'll kind of get to the heat because that's still a few more days out. But it is pretty remarkable to have 94 or 95 for 4 days straight. Not unheard of, obviously, but
No.
First time this year. And it looks like even the rest of June looks pretty warm. So summer's here, not officially. It starts 1 week from today, but it is going to be hot. And even for Father's Day on Sunday, I didn't mention too much about the forecast for Sunday. However, I think it's dry and it's just going to be hot. So if you have any Father's Day plans, I know my dad's golfing on Sunday, so it's going to be pretty warm out there for all the dads. So so there's a lot going on. Also, Juneteenth is on Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
So there's going to be a lot of outdoor activities and events for that too. So that's another thing to keep in mind, making sure that you're staying cool, staying hydrated, all those things, because it's going to be very hot and sunny for the most part. Really not much chances for rain. It's not zero those days, but it's not very high. So it looks like it's a dry stretch, it's a warm stretch, and a humid stretch.
So sunscreen, water, a fan, shade if you can find it, AC for sure.
Yeah, it's...
Not your favorite weather
I
at
know,
all.
I say it every time. I just don't like the heat, and unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be coming.
And who knows how long it'll last, Colton.
I can't be the only one, right? I can't be the only one that doesn't like
that
the
is
heat.
way too hot. 80s, high 80s are even stretching it, but low, mid 80s, that's fine. I feel like that's pretty good. When you get mid 90s, that is absurd.
Yeah,
we're not in Arizona, but it's going to feel like it.
We're getting very close to record high values for those days as well. So it looks like we'll probably get close or maybe break some record highs next week with these temperatures up into the 90s. Because again, the average high is 78. We never see our average high get above 83, but obviously we're talking about temperatures that are more than 15 degrees above normal for next week. So it's going to be pretty warm. We've avoided this so far this year. We have not seen a 90-degree day yet, but it looks like Monday will be our... possibly Sunday, but Monday for sure will be our first one. So get ready for that. But obviously we have some weather to get through before that. So make sure that you are staying with us. We have a full slate of newscasts coming up with Studio 10 beginning at 3. We'll be in the 4 o'clock talking about the severe weather chances, and obviously through the 90 minutes of news. And when we're in a newscast, if we do get any warnings, it'll immediately go over to Andy. So you will have updates throughout the evening. And if we need to jump on News 10 Plus as well, we'll do that. So we'll be covered throughout the evening hours with any thunderstorms that do end up developing. I've been trying to stall here to see if the Weather Service puts out a watch. I have not seen that so far.
Well, you check.
Yeah.
I'll pull up the First Alert weather app real quick. Again, you can get your video updates from our weather team. You get the hour by hour. So I know a lot of people, like Mitchell in the live chat here, was asking, okay, when are these storms potentially showing up in the Lansing area? Where if you see that top blue bar where it says Lansing, Michigan, you can touch on that and change it to the Follow Me location to get your forecast for the location that you are currently in. Or you can set it for a location, say you have a family member, a friend in another part of mid-Michigan, you want to see what it's going to be like in their area during a certain time. You can change that location to wherever you want, do the follow me feature if you'd like to as well. And you can get those more accurate updates for your area, see when those storms are moving in. You can also get the radar to track that as well. You can see the satellite images and you get the temperatures too to monitor all of those summer-like heat, hot, very, very hot temperatures.
Yep.
Any updates?
Nope, no updates, no watches yet. But we'll see if there one is issued, so make sure you stay with us. We'll give you updates, throughout the evening. How will I know there's a watch issued? Because I have the News 10 First Alert Weather app, and we'll get the notification there. So make sure you download it. Very important to have. And be careful driving home from work today, because it looks like we'll have some storms around during that time. So just be careful driving in some of that rain that we may see.
All right. Well, thank you, Colton. We will
Yes.
check in with you at Studio 10 at 3.
Correct. Yep. Busy day, but we're all down there, so we'll keep you updated.
And Colton was mentioning all of the storms coming through by the end of the day. So not only can you get your weather updates on the First Alert Weather app, you can also get traffic alert updates. So if there are any accidents out on the roadways, any slowdowns because of the weather that we're going to be getting later today, the storms, or any of those construction alert updates, you can get that all on the First Alert Weather app. Make sure to go check that out over there. So again, First Alert Weather app, a great tool to have on your phone. Make sure to check that out coming up today. And of course, Colton's going to be coming up on Studio 10 at 3 o'clock in just over half an hour, followed by First at 4. And Andy Provenzano will be in for 90 minutes of news. As you know, he is here already preparing for those storms that could be moving into mid-Michigan this evening, again around 4 o'clock. So in about an hour and a half, you can prepare for those storms on the way. But right now, just a quick live look outside before we get to Isley Herschel, who's sharing what she has coming up during her 90 minutes of news. Just getting a quick live look over US 127. You see those clouds, some of those blue skies, but again, tracking the potential for those severe storms happening around 4 o'clock and lasting until about 9 tonight. So again, just make sure to check in with our First Alert Weather team, because today is a First Alert Weather day. I do want to check in with Isley. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
It's good. It's hot and humid out.
I'm enjoying the hot weather, honestly.
It's like super hot. I walked out there and I was like, oh my goodness.
I feel like it's a little cold in here,
It is.
honestly.
They always crank the AC.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like being in the heat.
Wait, no, the heat's nice. It is summer. So I mean.
Yeah.
All right, what do you have coming up today?
Well, today I actually spent a little bit of time inside, not outside. I was at Jackson College talking about learning about this program that they have there. It's called Ready, Set, Jet. And it's for students who are about to start college there, or who might have taken a break from college and are ready to go back. And it's helping them get back into the basics of like English, math, and then all about like how to succeed when you're in college.
Oh, that's awesome.
So each day it's 3 days a week for 7 weeks, and each day they do something different. So like Tuesdays is English, Wednesdays is all about like college life and how to survive it, and then Thursdays is math.
Okay, so you said English and math, and then on Wednesdays is kind of that just like good to know information.
Yeah, things like just where things are in the school and what resources they can take advantage of. And the best thing about this is they're getting free stuff with this. They're getting like a free computer, and they don't have to pay for this either, which is awesome.
That is. Well, you talk about school, and especially needing certain resources that can add up, that costs money.
Yeah.
So being able to get those resources free, I'm sure helps them out a lot.
For sure,
immensely.
yeah. I talked to some students and says that they've been really impacted by this. And on top of this, they're getting more free stuff, but I don't want to say all of it because I feel like the whole story should tell that later, you know?
That is true. All right, well, when can people look forward to this story?
5:30 tonight, and then I'll share all the rest of the free stuff they're getting.
All right, from Jackson College, right?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Isley.
Of course.
All right, and we'll have that coming up in our 90 minutes of news, but we'll let Isley get working on that story and all the free things that you can get at Jackson College. For now, we're going to share what's coming up. Thank you, Isley. Coming up today during First at 4 on Mid-Michigan Matters. So June is Pride Month. We are celebrating the LGBTQ plus community and all of those in it, and especially wanting to share all of the resources for the LGBTQ plus community, and not just the community, but for the whole community. And knowing that how to have the tough conversations and being inclusive, all of those great resources. So we're going to be speaking with someone who is hosting the Pride event in Old Town, happening June 22nd. That is a Saturday. So again, Saturday, June 22nd, a little Pride festival in Old Town Lansing. to celebrate Pride Month. And then also today on Mid-Michigan Matters, we're going to be sharing the resources for the LGBTQ plus community and what you need to know, again, to have those hard conversations. Coming up, News 10 at 5, the semifinals and finals are this weekend for high school baseball. And one of the Mid-Michigan teams still in the hunt is Maple Valley Baseball. So we have News 10's Owen Ozust and more for the historic run. And again, that's coming up News 10 at 5 today. Coming up News 10 at 5:30, thousands of dollars in damages at the Lenawee County Fairgrounds. And new security footage shows who could be responsible. So coming up News 10 at 5:30, we're going to show you who officials want to speak with. And then coming up News 10 at 6, some changes are coming to a major intersection in Ingham County following a number of crashes. We have that information and those updates coming up today, News 10 at 6. You just heard Isley sharing what she has coming up during her 90 minutes of news. We want to share now what Justin Kent has. I'm trying to find your name on here. Do you see it?
No, I see Justin Bradford's name on there. That's all right.
No,
Oh, there we go.
There you are. How are you today?
Doing good, not too bad. I got a pretty interesting story coming to you guys. From Holt, the Holt community, we actually were reached out to by a neighbor in this, it's the Morewood Farm subdivision. And they've had troubles with some break-ins, and apparently this is not the first time. They say every single summer their neighborhood gets hit with these car break-ins. Yeah. Nobody's smashing windows, but they're going in and checking car doors, seeing if it's unlocked, and getting that stuff. We got security footage that we're going to be showing you guys at 5:30. The big thing with this one, though, is they broke into one of his neighbor's trucks and they stole a gun. And so now that kind of ramps things up a little bit. The neighborhood's a little bit, on edge. Yeah, exactly. And, the police are telling you, people, don't keep your guns in your car. Put them inside your home in a very secure, safe location. But this is more concerning because now, you have to be worried about seeing this person or catching this person and knowing that they're armed. So that's definitely something. But we'll have more on that story coming up at 5:30.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, all of those stories. I know we've had a lot of gun safety law talks, too, recently. So make sure that you were tuning in during our 90 minutes of news. All right. Well, thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
I do want to share, lastly, our You're Not Alone mental health series. Because of some of these gun talks that we've had in our newscasts and across our community, I know that curfews have been put in place. We also have just new laws that Governor Gretchen Whitmer has signed, especially, at a federal level, too. So a lot of these conversations being held around guns and safety, especially for children. So, if you have a family member or a loved one who has lost their life to gun violence, know that you're not alone. And maybe it wasn't even just gun violence. Maybe it was just they lost a life. I don't want to say just lost a life, but because their lives are important. But if you know someone who has lost a life, or you are struggling with addiction, suicidal thoughts, stress, anxiety, substance abuse, gambling addictions, know that you're not alone. There are community members out across Mid-Michigan who want to share their stories with everyone out in our community to help them know that they're not alone and that there are resources out there for you and a support group who wants to help you feel better and improve your emotional well-being. So that's what we're doing here on News 10, is sharing those resources with all of you. So go ahead, scan that QR code on your screen with your cell phone's camera, and you can click on the link that will pull up a recommendation of resources across Mid-Michigan. And just note that's there for guidance. If you do not want those resources, there is a plethora of other resources across Mid-Michigan that you can browse through to seek the help that will help you. So again, that is part of our You're Not Alone mental health series. Make sure to go check that out. That is it today on News 10. Everything from our reporters that we have coming up Studio 10. First up, 90 minutes of news. You heard from Isley Herschel and Justin Kent what they have coming up during our 90 minutes of news. But as you heard Colton mention, today is a first alert weather day with the risk of severe storms moving in from about 4 p.m. until 9 p.m. tonight. And not only that, but eventually they're really going to be talking about the summer-like heat that we're experiencing starting this weekend and really ramping up next weekend, as you can see, mid-90s, okay? So you want to make sure those AC units are running, that you have anything else that you may need on standby to help keep you cool during the next week. But until then, you can download the First Alert Weather app for more updates into the storm, the First Alert Weather Day we're getting today, and of course, those high temperatures that we'll be getting next week. So make sure to go check that out. Again, News 10, completely free off of Google Play and the Apple App Store for the First Alert Weather app. Just go check that out. Before we head out here, I do want to get some live looks across Mid-Michigan so you know what we're experiencing right now before the storms move in. So I gave you a live look at US 127 earlier, and now I'm going to give you a live look in downtown Jackson. You are seeing more of those blue skies, at least from this camera angle, and some of those clouds out in the distance, but looking dry as of now. And then moving to Michigan State University's campus in East Lansing, just seeing what you're experiencing out there. And so just make sure you are being careful today with all the storms, but yes, it's looking pretty good out there too. Now I'm going to get Delta Township. It's looking windy out there, and so Colton was mentioning some of that too. So you see that wind shaking the camera a little bit. Just keep an eye out for that as well. And then I'll send it to Mason so we can get a live look out there too. It's looking more calm out in Mason, but of course if you're looking at the flag poles out there, you're seeing the American flag and the other flags moving as well. So just know that it is breezy out there. We had the risk of hail, strong winds later today that Colton was mentioning for this First Alert Weather Day. So just make sure you are staying on top of that and downloading the First Alert Weather app. I'll show that one more time for more of those First Alert forecast updates. But that is what we have coming up today on News 10. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining.